After setting the cluster, what was missing is to set up the CNI, basically the networking for the Kubernetes. Let's connect to the virtual machine and I will show all the pods which are running. 2 of them are in pending state. To fix this, we could install Calico. The main difference between Calico and Flannel is that Calico is built for the larger clusters and it's better for scaling the clusters. And Flannel is good for local testing and for small to medium clusters. It's just the network operation for the pods. The next thing is to remove the taint from the main node, because we don't have any other nodes and we are using only master node, only main node, which will also run all the pods. And if the taint is removed, it allows to run pods on the control plane, which is not recommended in production, but in our case it's completely fine. Once that's done, namespace for Agones system can be created and Agones can be installed in the cluster. To check if Agones system is working and function, the command with wait parameter can be used. kubectl command with wait parameter could be used to verify that when all the pods will be running. Conditions have been met. That is shown in the output, and the same is for the other pod. We can look at the pods in Agones system namespace and we see that all of them are running. Now we are ready to use Agones, and to simplify the workflow, the Docker context can be used in the command line. For the current system I have Docker 2407 and it's just executable which I took and placed. The context allows to use the remote server instead of the local machine, and that does not require for you to run the Docker service locally. This Docker command is used only as a client to communicate with the server. Since I have already the context, it will tell me that the context already exists, but in case your IP changes, you could use the update command to update the context. Next, Docker context use server should be used, which will use this server context. That's just a name which I picked, and it will use the following host. To check if this works, we could use docker ps command, and this will connect to the server. The Docker will use the server context, it will connect to the virtual machine, and currently there are no running containers or images built. The same can be done with the kubectl. Can be used to copy the config which I have in root folder on virtual machine. That copies that config file into the .kube folder on local machine. The kubectl would work on the local machine, which is useful at some cases.